when the mid-innings happened, 176, I felt was 10-15 runs more, thanks to Andre Russell.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to another episode of our special edition of Straight Bat with Mr. Cricket UAE. We have just come out of yet another interesting match between Sunrisers Hyderabad and Kolkata Knight Riders. With me is the person himself, Mr. Anis Sajan, and I also have A.K. Satish, our sports editor of Gulf News. Okay, Anis bhai, before we get on with the match, I think, we should again do a recall about this contest which you are running as Mr. Cricket UAE. Go ahead, please.
Oh, yes, thank you, Gautam. Hello, Satish, and hello to all the wonderful people of Gulf News. Well, the contest is every day you have a match or two matches. You need to predict the winner. And if you predict it right, which is, I know, tough because this IPL is very tight. But once you predict the right winner, you walk away with a beautiful apparel kit, which is a track, t-shirt, cap, and a digital subscription from Gulf News. It's all yours.
Right. Okay, now coming to the match, as most of you must have seen, like Sunrisers Hyderabad, now basically 3 matches on the trot, they have successfully chased down targets, and today they've turned the tables. They really managed to turn the tables on Kolkata Knight Riders. The target on the face of it may have looked around 10-15 runs, little below par, but it was a tricky, with the way the wicket was playing, and when the ball would be new, it was a tricky chase. So coming to you, Anis bhai, really a game changer of an innings by Rahul Tripathi, and with able support from Aiden Markram.
Spot on, Mr. Gautam. To be very honest, when the mid-innings happened, 176, I felt was 10-15 runs more, thanks to Andre Russell. But after losing both their set openers, when I say set, means the guys who scored in the earlier matches and who made them win, one was Williamson and one was Abhishek. I thought this time they might struggle, but Tripathi was playing on a different wicket. Of course, the ball was then coming onto the bat quite easily, but without taking anything away from Tripathi, he just went after all the KKR bowlers and his special liking for Varun Chakravarti and the other bowlers. And in the end, it was a cakewalk, to be very honest. His innings set the platform, and Markram finished it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Satish, this Tripathi, I have seen him during my, KKR for 2 seasons now. Bit, underrated because he plays all the correct shots. Those 2 sixes with that free extension of the arm, they were a delight to watch, particularly the one which sailed over, I think, extra cover. So what do you think? I mean, what do you think? He's kind of setting a template for the other SRH batsmen to follow now?
Tripathi has been, he used to come up with some very good knocks even in the past. Yeah, as you said, he's been an underrated batter. But what I failed to understand is the KKR bowlers, they bowled pretty wrong line, I would say. The fast bowlers are bowling short of length, which is a normal to any of the earlier wickets, whereas this wicket had a lot of grass. They should have bowled more up front and made the batsman play more on the front foot. On the contrary, Varun Chakravarti, the spinners bowled more on the front foot, where if you have kept it a little short of length, the ball would have skidded and maybe it wouldn't have allowed the batsman the free shot making abilities or helping them to extend their arms. So I think overall it was a bad planning and bad the line and length bowled by the Kolkata bowlers, because that came in after seeing all the Sunrisers bowlers where they bowled. That's a little puzzle to me, actually.
Right. Well, coming back to Anis bhai again, Sunrisers, it was a pretty unusual sight in an IPL game. I mean, they had to get their first spinner in Suchit in the 9th over. And, they used as many as 5 pacers on the job. So is this, would you consider to be a kind of, special element of this IPL? Gone are the technique of using a spinner in the power play. I mean, it was such a delight to watch. What is your take on this phenomenon, Anis?
I wouldn't say gone are the days where the spinners cannot come in the power play. Suchit was coming, I think, because Washington Sundar was unavailable today. And they did not want to take a chance with him in the power play. But you have to give credit to the fast bowlers who, like, if you see, Natarajan has been very handy, even though today he went a little expensive in the end. But whether it is Natarajan, Janssen, then we talk about today the young rookie fast bowler and Bhuvi. These four guys just set it up, except for one bad over by Bhuvi. Otherwise, the fast bowlers have been doing the job. So, what difference would I find in this team? Since it might be a long answer, but the fact is they've got the hunger. There is no big name if you remove Williamson and to some extent Puran. And to be very honest, Puran has not done anything so far where we can say that he's won a game. These are our hungry guys, young guys. And I am the guy who had mentioned that they're playing the old school of cricket few days ago when they lost 2 matches. They've turned the clock by showing a lot of hunger and passion and throwing themselves and giving their 100%, more than 100%.
Right. Yeah, and it's by, I mean, it's maybe it's little still too early to say whether they have been able to, do away with that old school of cricket, because this partnership was really out of the ordinary. If you go back to the start of the chase, they were struggling. Particularly the shot that Williamson got dismissed. Now, once again, talking about the KKR innings, this tendency to experiment when you have lost 2 quick wickets, you're getting in Sunil Narine again at number 4. What do you think about that? In fact, Nitish Rana came after him. Not that it caused them too many balls, but what do you think about this experiment?
Honestly, if I want Sunil Narine, I would like him to open the innings. I don't see him being tried in the 3rd or 4th position. Either he comes opener or comes after all the set batsmen. Because Sunil Narine is the best player to utilize the power play, and that's why they sent. Today, they had to let go Rahane because he was having a lean patch. They brought in the Aussie batsman, but unfortunately, he didn't click. We are talking about, Aaron Finch. But unfortunately, apart from Aaron Finch, Venkatesh Iyer has been having a terrible IPL. He's going through a very bad run of form. And when the captain doesn't score in Shreyas Iyer, they depend heavily on Aaron Finch, or rather Andre Russell. But today, you have to give credit to Nitish Rana that he scored that vital runs. Otherwise, they'd have been struggling. Overall, we all felt that KKR has a good team, but when you see them struggling, you find them that they are not the team. I don't see them in the reckoning, to be very honest.
Right. Yeah, this is the question. I mean, they certainly looked one of the teams to beat. But Satish, I mean, gradually you see these chinks in their armor. I mean, in the middle order, there are quite a few questions that need to be asked, isn't it?
Not just the middle order, Gautam. I see a huge technical flaw in Venkatesh Iyer. He goes back towards the leg stump. I don't know what the batting coach is doing. I don't think last year he did the same thing. He's moving away from the ball and he's trying to give himself room. In the process, he's not hitting. And the same thing happened with Shreyas Iyer. He's a very good batter, but unfortunately today he was looking at all at a sea, like as Anisbhai said. But one thing they tried is they kept the left-right combination going. Like once the left-hander got out, I think probably that's the reason why they brought in Sunil Narine early, just because to give that little momentum to the inning. But Ritish Rana played a pretty good inning. But the rest of the batters, the early batters, I'm quite disappointed, because obviously you're not going to get a flat track always or the spin-friendly track. Shreyas Iyer is an experienced batter and he's played international cricket, but today his timing was awful, and that's another one which again I'm going back to my earlier answer. The Sunrisers bowlers bowled a pretty good length. If you look at, they bowled most of the deliveries at length balls, which was becoming very difficult to hit. Whereas the Calcutta bowlers, they were still bowling to that just short of length, which was the ball was coming on nicely, and then the height was good, so it gave them the room to play. So overall, the struggle by the Kolkata batsman was due to the length they bowled, but I'm quite disappointed with the way both Venkatesh Iyer, Shreyas Iyer both played, and Aaron Finch, of course, is playing his first game, but he was all at sea as well. So the top 3, I think they need to come up with a better performance.
Yes, I mean, Finch certainly looked a batsman who was short on confidence. I mean, just the first game. So we'll have to see how it goes. And as usual, before we wrap up, we look at, it's again a double header tomorrow. The day game is, we have got Mumbai Indians now desperate
Lucknow.
for the win in the sixth match against Lucknow. And we have got Delhi Capitals.
DC versus RCB.
DC versus RCB, which is certainly, potentially the more
Mouth-watering.
cracker game. So I will come to you. Mumbai is a big conundrum this time. So what do you feel, Anis bhai? Where do Mumbai go from here?
If they don't win today, rather tomorrow, they probably will have to go home early, rather go back to Mumbai itself early. Because if you lose 6 matches in a row, then there's asking for too much. They need the little bit of spark, and that spark has to be led from the front. And consistency by Rohit Sharma and Ishan Kishan has been costing them. And apart from Bumrah, they don't have any but the bowler. So if they have to win tomorrow, they have to bat first, score a good total, and then expect the bowlers to defend. I don't see them chasing again.
What about the DC RCB game? Another intriguing one.
Tough call, to be very honest. Both teams have won a game, and one last team as RCB, in fact, has lost a game last time. So it's a tough call. If I have to go for one team, I'll go for DC.
DC. Satish, before I ask for your prediction, a question on Rohit Sharma. I mean, there are some suggestions, they are still at a very Marmar kind of a phase that will there be some sense in him doing a Kohli, that is giving up the captaincy and concentrating on his batting because he already has enough on his plate, both international and franchise cricket combined. What do you feel about it?
No, I don't think Rohit Sharma is affected by the captaincy because he started performing much better after becoming a captain. For example, even for that matter, Kohli. But Kohli gave up on his own. I don't know what the trigger was, but he gave up on his own. But I don't think that is going to help Gautam, because I think if there's one thing that Rohit Sharma has to do, he has to improve his fitness. More than that, I don't think the captaincy would anyway affect his batting, but certainly his fitness, and of course, with fitness and some more runs on the board, maybe he has to try to say, okay, let me play one long inning, whether I score runs or whether I don't score runs. Let me stay on till the end. Much should have been his idea. At least tomorrow, if he could do that, obviously, once he plays 10 overs, I think he will improve the run rate much higher than anybody else. So that must be the key. Then I don't think that's a good idea. He's a good captain, and he should continue because he is very brainy that way. But my expectation would be he has to play longer, and if possible, over a period of time after IPL, maybe he needs to improve his fitness for India.
Right. And what's your take about the 2 matches tomorrow? Whom do you see as the winner?
I would say it's a perfect situation for Mumbai to make their move. So I would bank on Mumbai in the first game. And if Harshal Patel returns to RCB, I would go with the RCB tomorrow. Because they are a much better different team.
Valid.
When he is there, because he will not give you more than 20-25 runs in that 4 overs. That actually doesn't give the opponent the momentum to think that, okay, we are in control of the game. So that way, if he is back tomorrow, then I would go with RCB.
Right. You will go with RCB or DC?
If Harshal Patel plays RCB.
If Harshal comes back, right. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So that is it from my side. I think I'm increasingly finding it difficult for Mumbai to bounce back from here. So I'll stick my neck out in favor of the newcomers. And for the second game, yes, I think Harshal coming back does make a difference. It did so tremendously in the last game, I would like to say. So it really tilts the scales in RCB's favor for the evening game. So on that note, we leave you. Thank you for joining me tonight, and we'll be back again tomorrow after the double header. Good night.